Q-Town.
Welcome once again to Community Journal, a program on Channel 18. Our first guest, or our only guest this morning, is Barbara Ann Foley. And Barbara Ann has got a few snippets, as she calls it, to talk about.
I do, Paul. Thank you. So the first thing I want to mention to everyone is we have a Social Security machine, and it's kind of like Skype or FaceTime, if you know what those are. You go into looking at what looks like a computer screen on, in this case, April 24th, Monday, and you sit in front of the computer screen at your appointment time, and there's a live body on the other end of that screen. So you can sign up for disability, Social Security disability. Those appointments need to be an hour. You just need to let our receptionist know that. The other appointments are 15 minutes, and you can ask any kind of questions that you might have, from simple things like, I need to replace my Social Security card because I have no idea where the heck it is, or questions that you may have about your own personal Social Security and your personal life. You simply call the Council on Aging to sign up for those appointments, and they are going to be here always on the third Monday, but this month we had Patriots Day, so it's the fourth week, which is Monday, April 24th. Excuse me. The other thing I wanted to tell you is we have over 115 volunteers, and every year we recognize them on a couple of occasions, usually quarterly. And our spring event is the largest event, which is at the Riverway. Our wonderful Executive Office of Elder Affairs grant pays for that. And we are going to be closing up shop so that we can honor our volunteers on the 27th at 11 o'clock. So if you have business to do at the COA that day, please come in before 11 o'clock so we can serve you properly. On the 28th, the next day, Friday the 28th, I can't even believe I'm going to say this. It seems like we just had winter. We are going to begin our summer bicycle club. This year, the bike group is going to be led by Fran Saluski. He is a member of the Bikeways Committee and an avid cyclist, and he's going to head up that group. And you may see Kevin or I joining you every now and again, but they will go out. It's always on the safe bike path, usually off of Oak Street, going one direction or another. And it's a no-drop ride. So if you or someone that you love enjoys bicycling, or you haven't been out in a while, we also have a little coupon that we get every now and again with the bicycle shop on on Park Street. And you can rent a bicycle there. So we've had people do that who have said, oh my gosh, I haven't been on a bike in 20 years or more, and they don't want to go out and buy one because they're not sure if it's something that they want to do again. So you can rent them for the day or half a day there and decide if that's something that you want to do. And if you do, then you can go out to, Benny's or somewhere that they're inexpensive and get one. But it's a great form of exercise, both good for the brain as well as for the body.
How long is the ride?
They go for about an hour. Good question, Paul.
Yeah,
it's a couple miles out and a couple miles back, but as we said, it's a no-drop ride. So if someone goes, a mile and they're exhausted, we have one of the leaders will come back with them to make sure that nobody's riding by themselves.
Oh, very good.
So it's a great, great group. And the last two things coincide with each other, last couple of things. We have a caregiver support group here, and it's a little bit unique in that most support groups have the support just for the person who is caring for the patient. But our support group has both parts, meaning that instead of having to get a sitter or someone to come in and take care of your loved one, you bring your loved one with you, and you are supported, the caregiver, or care partner as we like to say, in one room with a nurse, and in another room with a nurse is the person who has the disease. And they have had grants for music therapy and crafts and other kinds of things to keep the client or patient busy and also supported. And at the same time, the caregiver is given tips on how to de-stress and how to get through the holidays and other things that caregivers go through, that other caregivers have been there and done that. And it's a wonderful program put on by Alzheimer's Family Support Center in Brewster. That same group also does, we will be having in May in your newsletters, when you get your May, June newsletter, you'll see a couple of dates that has Dementia 101 training and 102, I think it's 101 and 102. That will help you to understand the disease process a little bit more, as well as what to do with a person if you suspect that they have dementia, you know, where to go first, and what the symptoms are and what to look for. So they will do screenings for us, they do free educational programs, and they do the support group every month, twice a month, the first week of the month and the third week of the month. All of those services are 100% free, both to the resident, to the COA, the town, etc. There is no fee for any of the services that they provide, including the counseling if you go to their center. The way people will say, well, how on earth can you provide, it can't be everything is free. And the answer is everything is free. And the way that they do that is through grants and through fundraising, which leads us to our second piece. We have the Remembery Walk, Dave Burtwell Memorial, every year in memory of my dad, Dave Burtwell, who died on Mother's Day, unfortunately, back in 2006. So we hold it every year on the Saturday of Mother's Day weekend. This year, that happens to be Saturday, May 13th. It's a little later this year. And the registration is at Brooks Park. It begins at 11 o'clock. We're usually literally walking by noontime, depending on how many people we need to register. And we are, this year, having a number of more teams, which we're really excited about. And people will say to me, yeah, but, you know, I hate asking my friends that kind of thing. You know, we get hit up for doing a lot of programs and fundraising, and you know, I hate to keep asking them over and over again. Well, a team is two or more people, first, and second, there is no fee to do the walk. You simply bring any donations that you may have collected or that you may be donating yourself, but we don't ask for a registration fee ahead. We have always had that be one of our rules, and it will continue to be one of our rules, because some people bring $10 or $20, and that's all that they can afford to bring. And that's $10 or $20 we didn't have last year, so that's how we look at it. The walk is going to have, it's on, at Brooks Park, it's on the bike path on Oak Street, so it's a safe walk. You can literally walk 10 paces and turn around and come back if that's all that you can do. This year we'll have golf carts that will be provided to go up and down the walk in case somebody is exhausted and needs to turn around and come back. But the music, even if you don't want to walk or can't walk and you're with somebody who does, the music is provided free by the Sound Dunes. And if you've never heard them, you are definitely missing something. They are a big band era live band, and they have sometimes 8 pieces and sometimes 16 pieces, just depending on the day. But they have beautiful music, and they will be in the bandstand in the gazebo on that day, 2 sets that they will be doing. And we are hoping that you will get some family and friends. It is Mother's Day Saturday, so perhaps bring mothers and aunts and the women in your lives to celebrate all of our mothers collectively, here or not. And again, that's Saturday, May 13th. We hope that you will join us. All of the proceeds go to Alzheimer's Family Support Center, the group that I mentioned that does all of those services for free. So if for whatever reason you can't make it and you want to donate, you're certainly welcome to do that as well. And the last thing that I want to talk about, speaking of free services, is the Senior Tax Work-Off Program. We have, or can have, up to 30 slots for that wonderful program. And we have very few filled right now. Some of it is because people have been over the income. The income, by the way, is in your current newsletter. It is a big long sheet inside that has all of the exemptions, including the senior tax work-off and the 41C senior exemption. If you are eligible income-wise for one, you're eligible for the 41C as well. Each of those is up to $1,000 abatement. And that is no small change off a tax bill if you are able to income qualify. The 41C, the senior exemption, does not do any work. It's paperwork, but you don't do any volunteer work. The senior tax work-off, you work for 100 hours from the beginning of the year until mid-November, and you get that $1,000 abatement. They go through OBRA and some paperwork that has some monies that come out of that, but that goes towards your property tax. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call the assessor's office and ask them for more information. This program is a wonderful, wonderful program that I urge you to look into. And if you're saying to yourself, I'm 80 plus or 90 plus, there's no way I can do that kind of work anymore. You don't have to. You can have an heir or one of your family members do it on your behalf. So there's lots of ways to make this program work, and we really want people to take advantage of it that income qualify. So if you are questioning whether you will or you won't qualify, first, if you can, check in your newsletter. And if it looks like you do, then definitely call the assessor's office. Where I come in is we do the placement of people. So once they tell me you have qualified, I notify the department heads and I say, who needs help with this kind of background of experience? And then we place the person in that department. So if you're a person, for example, who loves to be outdoors, we will work with that and try and have perhaps the harbor master, for example, has taken a few people before. If you're someone that does filing or has done inside kind of work or answering some phones and doing some filing, we'll find a place inside for you. So we work with the person and their background, but we need to know about you. So please don't hesitate to either give the assessor's office or my office a call. If it's about income, definitely them, because they have all the answers to that. And the placements I can tell you about. So that's finally it for me, Paul.
Well, thank you very much, Barbara Ann. It sounds like a lot of good stuff there, and I hope people will take advantage. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for tuning in.